Okay, so I won't do this for all of your assignments, but I thought this first one, since we're right at the beginning, it might be helpful to have a little bit of explanation for the starter. Um, and so what you're going to find are two things. One, the first section, labeled general comments, are just some general comments and thoughts about the helping skills rating system. Um, and then the second section is the correct responses. Um, and another thing to note, this is just a reminder, this is from your starter one, which is the first week. And this is not for both. This is just for the second pretest where you looked at comments from um, that were given as potential responses of a helper, and you assessed them 1 through 5 in from least effective to most effective. So just generally, so when we're looking at these comments, and this is something that you'll hopefully think about throughout this course, it can be helpful to think of a helpee's perspective, that's the person you're trying to help, as both cognitive and feelings based. Or honestly, the way I think about it is head, heart. Um, in cognitive situations, come from a situation, a problem, or a content. That's stuff that just is, like a middle schooler was just in a fight. The the ooh, the feelings perspective, they come from how the helpee is emotionally connected to that situation. So if the kind of content or the cognitive part is middle schooler was just in a fight, the feelings part of that is they might be scared, embarrassed, anxious. They don't know because that they were just in a fight and they don't know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of emotional stuff that'll come from that. Um, and as a helper, you got to deal with both. And I think we all know this intuitively, but the reason I think this is important to share right now is we humans, we're pretty we delude we're delusional. We delude ourselves into thinking that our actions are guided mainly by our cognitive faculties. At least, even if we know maybe that personally we're not, but that society is looking for rational, cognitive driven behavior. But that's just not reality. It's often our feelings that govern our actions in a situation in tandem with the cognitive. But this is especially true when a helper is needed. And so, as a middle school assistant principal, I got to work with people who needed a lot of help in some pretty emotionally trying times, whether it was parents or kids or teachers. And so, you know, if I hadn't attended to any of the feelings part, my effectiveness as a helper would have been pretty minimal in most situations. So we've just got to keep that in mind. So in the rating system below, which is taken directly from the Art of Helping, um, notice how when the response that you're looking at attends only to the content, like the cognitive, rational, or just the content, it's given a rating of 2. So it says an accurate response to content, but the response doesn't include acknowledgement of the feelings. That's given a pretty low rating. And that's based on this idea right here that we need to attend to both cognitive and the feelings perspective. Another thing about these ratings, and I read a little bit of it down here, they're just one way to think about the effectiveness of a helper's response, and they come directly from the Art of Helping. They're not the only way to think about how to frame an effective helping response, nor are they correct. But this is just an introductory class for a topic that can feel overwhelming. And in the past, students have said just having a framework and a rating system can imperfectly, but simplify a topic or this topic so we can study and practice how to help. So that's that. The correct ratings are based on kind of these 5 descriptors. And so take a look at what you have and compare it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And hopefully this is helpful for you.